Picture this. Your players are slogging through a dungeon, exhausted after dealing with traps, puzzles, and an argument whether over who was meant to bring the healing potions. They open a dusty chest, hearts pounding, and what do they find? Another boring +1 sword. Not exactly memorable. But now, imagine this instead. They find a cursed flute of eternal jigs. The moment you play it, everyone in a 10-foot radius starts dancing uncontrollably. The barbarians flailing, the rogues spinning, and the wizards just trying not to cry. Suddenly, the party can't stop talking about it. What started as a dungeon crawl becomes a night of hilarity, complete with profound dance-offs and memorable moments no one could have foreseen. The magic isn't just in the item, it's in how it reshapes the entire session, breaking away from predictable tropes and giving your players something fresh to engage with. Today, I'm going to show you how to create magical items that aren't just loot, they're stuff of legends, chaos, and laughter. So, grab your notebook and let's craft some magic items that your players will never forget. Magic items are way more than just numbers. Forget the stats for a second. What's the story behind the item? Who made it? Was it forged by a long lost king blessed by the gods? Or enchanted by a wizard who has a weird sense of humour? These details breathe life into your items, turning them from mere objects into cherished parts of the narrative. Think of Excalibur. It wasn't just a sword, it was the sword, with a backstory steeped in legend. Your magical items should have the same level of intrigue and purpose. A magic item with no story is just like a book with no plot. Technically functionable, but lacking the spark that makes it captivating. For example, let's say your party finds a dagger. On its surface, it's just a blade. But what if it was a blade cursed by a jilted lover, and now every time when the wielder lies, it screams, "Liar!" in their head? Suddenly it's not just a dagger, it's a piece of the party story, a tool for character development, or a source of a constant argument or tension. The wielder might have to rethink their approach to deception entirely, adding a layer of depth to their choices. Your magic items don't have to come up with all the answers up front. Maybe it glows faintly when danger is near, but the players don't know why, and they won't find out until they uncover the item's deeper history. What if it was a beacon for an ancient enemy, or a tool imbued with sentience, longing to fulfill an unresolved purpose? Give your players a reason to ask questions and engage with the world you've built around them. Let's talk about abilities. Sure, you could give them a basic magic sword, but where's the fun in that? Think about powers that create new dynamics in gameplay, like the echoing steps boots. Try saying that 3 times fast. They're silent most of the time, making them perfect for sneaking, until they randomly echo loud sounds that sound like thunderclaps. Imagine your rogue's expression as every enemy in the dungeon suddenly knows their exact location. Or consider the bag of endless biscuits, completely useless in combat, but an absolute treasure for roleplay. Suddenly the party is feeding dragons biscuits instead of negotiating or resorting to violence. These quirky items don't just have to make your players laugh, they create opportunities for creative problem solving. What starts as a joke could actually become the key to an unexpected alliance, or a clever way out of a seemingly impossible situation. Not all abilities need to be strictly beneficial. A wand of involuntary polymorph might seem like a blessing at first, but the chaos it can bring can entirely unplanned, memorable situations. Picture this. A battle turns into an unpredictable comedy of errors when the barbarian gets turned into a sheep, only to take out the boss with a surprise ram attack. These moments aren't just entertaining, these are the moments that your group will reminisce over for years. In fact, some of the best stories come from things that go hilariously off script. Magic items really shine when they're connected to the players and the outer world. Maybe the paladin finds an amulet that hums their deity's hymn, a sign of divine favor that bolsters their resolve. Or perhaps that same amulet actually curses them with bad luck, or whenever they stray from their fate. It's not just an item, it's a narrative thread that interweaves into the character's backstory and journey. But let's not forget about the joy of messing with the party. Imagine a ring that grants advantage on perception checks, but only if the wearer loudly insults himself beforehand. Or a sword that pipes up mid-fight with sarcastic comments like, "That's your big plan? Bold choice." Interactive items like these don't just add flavour, they actively shape the way your players approach challenges and interact with each other. The magic isn't just in the abilities, it's in how the item shapes the dynamics of the group. These kind of quirks make items feel alive. They no longer are just tools, they're characters of their own right, capable of stealing the spotlight or causing unexpected drama. The unpredictability keeps everyone on their toes, ensuring no encounter plays out the exact same way. Let me say this loud and clear. Never just say, "You found a magical sword," like handing someone plain toast and calling it a feast. Instead, think of how the discovery itself can be story. Maybe the item is buried deep within a claw of a long dead dragon. Its magic so strong it's preserved the bones around it. Or maybe it's held by a fey guardian who demands riddles to be solved, or a drinking contest to be won. Imagine embedding it in a living, shifting maze, a puzzle that actively responds to the party's decisions, adapting to counter their attempts at progression. The maze could split the group apart, forcing them to communicate across distance, or create improvised solutions to reconnect. Solving it wouldn't be just about logic, but about teamwork and a bit of luck. When they finally overcome its challenges, the victory wouldn't be just about obtaining the item. The reveal of the item should feel like a payoff. Imagine the players' reactions when they find a cloak that starts pouring consistently as it's worn, or a staff cheerfully explains, "Finally, someone worth my brilliance." These details make the discovery a highlight of the session, something your players will eagerly recount. It's not just about the item itself. Even the simplest treasure can spark a lifetime of stories. So now I want to hear from you guys. What's the funniest or most chaotic magic item you've ever been given or received? Drop it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Or your next loot drop is going to be socks, and not the magical ones. You've been warned.